This is part two. So let me just talk about CXW. So this was the biggest win of the day. This was a $1,200 gain. Now, I saw this, excuse me, I saw this when it was already down a hell of a lot. Now, this popped up on the RSI Extreme Scanner. It was something like 10 on the RSI 5-minute chart. So very, very much underbought. Now, I kept looking at it because I thought, you know, this has still got potentially some way to go. Let me see if I can, no, I can't make that a bit bigger. All right. So I looked at news for this. There was no real news. There was nothing really. I mean, there was some kind of article alluding to the fact that, you know, some private prison operators, such as this company, you know, that could stand to benefit from from Trump's, you know, illegal immigrants kind of pledge. Nothing major. I mean, I think this came out yesterday. It wasn't even today. So I don't know. I mean, there was nothing really that I would have said, okay, you know, this is going to tank. But be that as it may, you know, the market reactors did. So I wanted to get in and kind of try this strategy. Now, once again, you know, paper trading is not real trading because of the fact that you don't have the same emotions. And I took a slightly bigger position than I normally would have. I think I took something like 1,000 shares, which is like $31,000, which is pretty much my whole account. So I wouldn't be going into this in the same position size. But the principle holds, right? It's about the principle. It's about the plan. You know, size, not that much of a worry at the moment. It's about, you know, this is the plan. This is where I'm getting in. This is what I expect to happen. This is where I'm getting out. And I stick to that plan. Size at the moment is a second consideration. It's more about the process and the planning, the execution and the discipline and the management. So that's what I'm really focusing on. So disregarding the size at the moment, I shorted this. Sorry, first of all, I bought this because I was thinking, okay, it is so overextended in terms of it's dropped freaking a hell of a lot from its open. I think it was down like something like 20% or something. Maybe not 20, but it was a fair bit down. And it was just red up on red up on red up on red. And the RSI just, you know, was getting lower and lower and lower. I think it was actually 9.8 or 9.6 at some point. So it was very, very low. And I thought, okay, at some stage, people are going to start buying this up. So I looked at the 5-year chart. And I thought, okay, you know, it was at, what level was it? So it was at $30, let's say 31.5, right, for argument's sake. So looked at this and went, okay, where's 30.5? Okay, 30.5 is about here. Let me just draw that on. All right, let's say it's about here. So I knew straight away, looking at this, that could be a substantial pivot point. Because back in 2013, in June, it bounced off here, it bounced off here, bounced off here, bounced off here, bounced off here. So it kept bouncing off that level. Now, yes, it dropped below that, but once again, it kind of bounced and hovered around that level. So that 31.5 to me seemed, and once again here as well, you know, most recently only, what was it, 31st of March. You know, so that kind of kept telling me, okay, this is a support. This is a strong support level. So I thought, okay, why don't I buy here? Because it looks to be that support level. It'll bounce off that. So, you know, the fact that it's freaking, you know, 9 on the RSI means that it's severely underbought. People could be looking to get into this for that bounce. And you know, lo and behold, that was about here, I think, right? 31. I'm sorry guys. I marked 30.50. It was actually 31.50 that I got in. So my mark would have been here. All right. So not far off that $30.50 that we were talking about, right? So I thought to myself, okay, you know, that $30.50 seems to be that kind of, you know, ballpark figure of that strong support. I'm looking at 31.50, so just $1 above that. I thought, okay, you know, maybe this is where it starts to bounce back. And I bought. I went long, and thinking it would bounce back, right? But you know, I got in at what, 31.66, just a bit higher than 31.5. And there's that level you can see. So it didn't really hold that level. So I thought, fine, I'll short. Okay, it's very low RSI. It's a bit risky, but you know, let's stick to the technical analysis. The technical analysis on the one hand tells me that, you know, we still have, and look at this, we still have $1 of downside, which is where that strong base is. Let's see whether I can hold it till then. And look, it went straight to that 30.5 point, maybe just a little bit below that, right? But that's where it bounced off. So this is really useful, guys. It's really useful to mark these levels on, because this level of 30.5, which is what we saw as a very strong support base, that's really where this stock bounced off today. So very important to draw these levels on, guys. Very, very important. You know, don't go crazy and draw a million lines on this, but just the major points, which is where the stock turns, spikes, or falls, or keeps bouncing off number of multiple times, that is a strong support level. Obviously, this will be a very strong support level as well, because you can see that this is a very strong support level. This would be a major support level, and this would be a hell of a support level, right? So these are all the main areas you want to be focusing on. Obviously, it's not going to drop to $12.76 if it's $30 at the moment. So you just want to be marking the levels that are close enough to it, but the ones that could be in play. If I had been going long, I would be marking, you know, areas on here that I thought could potentially be resistance levels. On a chart like this, I'd be marking $half marks and full dollar marks always, because they're psychological support. And then in between, I'll be looking at anything else that I missed. So having $1 downside, extra potential, right? Because that's where we know the support is. I got in here with a short, and I held, 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 and I thought, okay, this looks to be going, you know, relatively well, and I covered here at 30.37. So just a little bit below that, but that is a hell of a good trade. That technically is a freaking brilliant trade. If I can keep doing this and multiply it, so if I can make $100, and if I can do this 1,000 times, that is called growing your account. And that's what I need to stick to, and that's what I recommend everyone else, you know, stick to as well. On these higher price stocks, you can do this kind of analysis because you have a bit more time. You can actually make a few more informed decisions. You know, the levels that you mark out can have a bit more bearing rather than that momentum low float strategy. So this is a really good example of how these levels can work. So today I am very happy with this trade. You know, this is probably one of the best trades I've ever done. It's a paper trade, it's a simulation trade, and I acknowledge that. But still, the execution, the plan, the strategy, excellent. You know, excellent. I would give myself really high marks for this if I can keep doing this over and over again. But look at the RSI, right? This is the RSI at the point where I shorted. So the RSI here is close to about, I don't know, I think it's about 15 on the chart. So it's risky. It's risky shorting in here because you would think it would bounce off, right? But I had this support level that I was just basing my principal plan on, and it worked. So that's it. Let me just show you the alerts that I used today. Let me just bring that down just a little bit more. Okay, so the alerts for CXW came from here. RXI, let me just bring that back. RXI Extremes. I think you'll see it here. Actually, so I've just scrolled down to the time that I got in, and I got in at CXW, I got in 11:59. So, you know, also risky. You know, midday trading is a bit risky because nothing happens during those 2 hours. You've got to be a bit careful. But this is what I saw, right? I kept saying this, CXW. You know, this is where I got in. 7.8 RSI, relative strength index. Really, really low. I mean, this is one hell of a beaten down stock, right? So a bit risky to be going in here. But, you know, as I said, you know, we had that support level. And so that's where I based my decision off. And that's the alert that got me into that trade. SNDX, on the other hand, I think was over here, was a new high of day. A new high of day, making high of day. And that's about it for today. I don't think I used anything else, but these are also very good. This 52-week high You know, whenever a stock makes a 52-week high, it tends to have a bit more momentum that pushes it just a little bit further onwards and upwards. So that's also quite good. And the most upward momentum is also great because it just tells you that there's a lot of sheer volume just building, and that something just could go boom straight up. So that's also worthwhile looking at. So that's it. That's my day today. You know, really good day in terms of the plan and the execution. You know, size-wise, I probably went a bit overboard. I wouldn't be using the same size, but you know, at the moment, I'm not focusing on the results. I want to focus on the plan, the execution, and do it slowly. And you know, the plan is that when I go live, if I can make $100 a day, that's cool. If I can keep doing that for a month, that's brilliant. And then if I can just keep increasing that just a little bit, that's where you become a consistent trader. That's where you get confidence. This has given me a lot of confidence. You know, this is day 2, guys. I mean, yesterday I made something like $900. Today I've made $1,126. You know, I wasn't making this kind of money with the low flow momentum stocks. I was actually losing. So there is something in this. You know, yes, I've got to refine it, and yes, it won't work every single time. I'll have to measure it and see how often, you know, what my win rate could be. But at the moment, you know, things are going okay. So I'll leave you guys to it. I won't be here tomorrow or Friday as I'm going away for the long weekend. So no videos from me. So wishing you guys, you know, the next few days, hope everything is going well. Hope the markets are good for you, and talk soon. Cheers.